Hi friends, I am Madhavan. I extend a hearty welcome to every one of you on behalf of BIST, the Bangalore Indiranagar Sky Trust, and CHT, Center for Holistic Development, on the presentation of a topic, Know Science and God for Better Living. The presentation outline is something like this. We talk about us, then the main topic, its definitions, functions, understanding, summary, and of course the question and answers. So this is a video presentation. You might send your questions via email or you can talk to us. Be blessed by the divine. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness and peace. On your left hand side you see Sri Vethathiridasan Madhavan, who is our mentor, guru, guide and everything. Then about Vethathiridasan Madhavan, a 97-year-lived Siddha saint, philosopher, scientist, a doctor, dedicated his life to bring world peace through individual peace. Popularly known as the Varga Valamudan Swamiji in southern part of India, has millions of followers in India and abroad with more than 10,000 centers spread all over. Authored more than 50 books and thousands of poems in Tamil and English. Some of them are translated into Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam and Hindi. Delivered keynote address in many prestigious institutions, universities, conferences, including United Nations. This is about myself. Personally, I am an engineer with a management consultant, a trustee and CEO of an IT company, Young Minds. More than 30 years of industrial exposure, 10 years on training, lectures, counseling, presented papers in various conferences. At present, a social activist doing service for the underprivileged, working towards the development of health and youth and bridging science and spirituality. These are some of the photographs of myself. We have a group of young minds who are developing them. And on the right hand side top is myself with Swamiji. This is about 25 years old. And the bottom left hand side is the time when we had inaugurated our center in Bangalore. On the right hand side, bottom, you could see that I am with Dr. P.K. Zayangar, Padma Bhushan, an international yoga expert. About the BIST is Bangalore Indiranagar Sky Trust, is a volunteer service organization engaged in education and training in simplified yoga, meditation, self-transformation, social development in the areas of youth, health and women, providing assistance to help for the underprivileged, orphans and aged. Adopted a small village for health, education and employment. VSSRC is Vethathiri Spiritual Science Research Center, which disseminates the science teachings, philosophies and knowledge based on Vethathiri Maharishi's atom to Atma approach. Now, introduction. Science is observed facts. God is assumed beliefs and thoughts. Observation is limited to five senses, instruments, and observer. Assumptions are unlimited to imaginations or intuitions. Observation continues on and on till assumptions become proven facts. Science to God is a thought process of converting assumptions to observable facts. See, what we see in the universe as matter is just 4%. And the next is 23% of dark matter, and most of them, what is in the universe is the dark energy, which amounts to 73%. That's why Einstein has said once, I just want to know God's thoughts, and the rest are just details. For those who believe, proof is not required. And for those who do not believe, proof is not possible. For science, God may be immaterial, and for God, science must be moral. When science meets God, then peace to humans will prevail. Now let us see some comparisons between science and God. Science is known, God unknown, or is it unknowable? Science predictable, God seems to be unpredictable. Science based on collective experiences and experiments, God is based on an individual's intuition and imagination. Science accepted at present, and there is a possibility it could be rejected with the new discoveries. God is accepted as the ultimate for all causes. Science is continuously progressing from whatever it is today to infinite. But God is infinite by itself. Science measurable, hence mathematical. God immeasurable, and therefore it's philosophical. Science is the study of nature or universe. But God is the study of the cause of nature or universe and beyond. Science finds causes from the effects. God finds causes for the effects. Science is a grandchild of religion, spirituality. God is the great-grandfather of science. Science deals with objective issues. God deals with subjective issues. Science limited to senses, instruments, and mathematics, whereas God is unlimited, is beyond all senses, instruments, and mathematics. Science highly of utility value to the comforts of body and senses, and sometimes it becomes a disturbance to mind, and the war and the fight among people. Whereas God is highly useful for the comforts of mind and peace. Now there is a science and there are scientists. Scientists are not science. While science integrates, scientists, do they divide? Is a question. Now, according to scientists, first it was material, which were the particles and forces, and then came the molecules, and then came the biology science. If life and mind are made out of lifeless and mindless substrate physics, if particles can give life, if particles can think, then it has started from them, is it not? Therefore, psychology is formed on the substrate of physics. Let's think again. Both studies of God and science are made by one, and it is you and me, the human. Human, are they not one and the same? Are they different? For physics, anatomy is same for humans, objectively. But for psychologists, they look at the individual subjectively and they find every human is different. A human anatomically the same, but a human psychologically is different. Then the humans who study science and God are science in object and God in subject. Maybe it is time that science look deeply into consciousness besides just appearances. For the science is not just a branch of specialization, but a tree of wholeness, oneness, totality, unified, Puranam. Everything, every life, every person, every thought, every word, and every action, including their chain reactions, are integral part of the totality. Science is just a small part of the totality. Establishing the intrinsic connectivity of all sciences with the totality is God, and it is called the spiritual science. Realizing this knowledge is self, or you may say, God realization. Vethathirian science opens up a new vistas of bridging science and God. 1. Vethathirian gravity throws a new light on unified force principle, a principle from which every other forces are emanated. Vethathirian universal or biomagnetism forms the energy network of the universe. Material energy to bioenergy and back to material energy. Vethathirian genetic center, a new morality factor connecting issues of pains to pleasure. And this is the the history of humankind. Now, you see, a human is seen and is also unseen. When he is seen, is biophysics, and then related to the universal physics are particles, materials, form and service. But when he is unseen, he has the biomagnetism connected to the universal magnetism, which are of waves, character, love and spiritual. They are not separate. They are together. The seen, unseen are together. The seen, pancha bhutas, the unseen are pancha matras. If one can understand this and the intertwining between the universal physics and universal magnetism, then I would say is somewhere closer to the understanding of God and in a position to connect science and God. Now look at this diagram of God is gravity. Now, we study as long as we live. Our life is moving on the factor of time, which you see as the time factor, a horizontal movement. But this is linked with the force. The force, or you can call energy, and this energy with respect to time is of varying nature. It is not same every time. As the force varies with time, then we have one more thing called the consciousness, which is a inherent of force at its changes with frequencies and waves, and these do play a role during our lifetime, during the time. Now, we all know that the law of conservation of energy, which is energy can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can convert from one to the other. Now you see, now this energy is always getting transformed from one form to another, and in this diagram I try to show the relation of the energy which is called force here and to that of consciousness. The force and consciousness keep varying. Now if you see the evolution of today's human, which I think is a thinking matter, and he evolved from the living matter, and which evolved from the physical matter. And you could see with the physical matter, the conscious level is lower and the force is higher. Therefore, the study of force, particles, energy, etc. has become much simpler, because the study of consciousness is more complex. As the physical matters evolves into living matter, you could see the improvement of consciousness. From that of physical matter, which is just atomic structure, with its own characters, properties, and with its own atomic speed. If the speed of the molecules vary, the physical matter do vary. When it comes to the living matter, they have developed the consciousness to the level of cognition, experience, and discriminate between the experiences. And that's it. But when the living matter evolves into humans as thinking matter, that adds to the consciousness as faith or a belief. And the moment you start believing, your internal intelligence try to understand it, split it, break it, go into the deeper understanding of that, and finally you do understand, and it's called realization. So human has the potential to develop the consciousness to the highest order, and there he becomes one with the Vethathirian gravity force or God. This is the process of self-realization. But human as a thinking matter, instead of developing into consciousness, he goes on doing something with the force, particle, energy, materials, mass, molecules, properties, name, fame, and therefore he just comes back to live within the physical and living matter consciousness with a bit of thinking. Friends, I don't know to what extent I was able to explain this to you, but I'm quite sure if you apply your mind and contemplate, you will come to a better understanding. Please feel free in case you have some doubts or clarifications or even counter points. So Vethathiri has offered us a science that encompass all the known sciences today. For physics, he gave us the Vethathirian gravity. In chemistry, he gave us the universal magnetism. And in biology, he gave us the biomagnetism. They are all one into the other. Likewise, psychology, sociology, so psychology, he offers certain programs for improving your body-mind relationship through exercises and techniques which are taught free in our center for anybody. Sociology is something to do with the relationship. When somebody talks about God, they always talk about love. Love is the lubrication in sociology. And for that, we offer the development of relationship through introspection. And this is where the human finds his ultimate purpose of living when he understands himself. Friends, I think I have made your thinking to get the fire and get the spark, get the enthusiasm move over little farther than wherever you are and understand the basis of science and the philosophy of God. Thank you. Thank you. வாழ்க வளமுடன். You are free to ask your questions wherever possible. I'll give you my answers. You can take a look at our website www.glowy.org. Send your mails to Dr. Madhavan at glowy.org. You can even contact me over phone 98860-67232. It's a Karnataka state number. If you are telephoning from other states, just add a 0 in front of 98860-67232. Thank you. Thanks a lot. May the Almighty bless you with excellent health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, happiness, peace and wisdom. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thank you. Bye.